Previously, I briefly touched on the topic of why commentary was essential for quality esports experience. Commentators are more than just a voice over some gameplay. They have a larger role than just simply explaining what is going on in a given moment. But why is casting necessary for a broadcast? What makes it so important? In commentary, it is incredibly important that casters give purpose behind the words they choose to use. A single misstep has the potential of turning a highlight reel into a blooper reel, something that no one wants to be the cause of. Let's use this clip as an example.
He's not able to make it happen. He uses his jump, and rest in peace.
To be real, I can't tell if that was shots against Guy or Siegel. But anyway.
Oh, no, those weren't shots. I had to say it again, and Gimmer's not there. Right now, Siegel is ripping off Omni's face and genitals on Smashville in this game 1. I wonder if Fox has metal genitals. Like, as part of... Y'all shouldn't let me on commentary, man. Like, he messed up.
No, I messed up. All right. This is not looking good for the commentary.
I used to be real commentary, and then like something changed. So right now, full stock lead for Siegel Joe.
This is gonna be the match that whenever someone says I'm a good commentator, everyone's gonna reference this match.
Oh yeah. No, he's not.
Although this is a pretty tame example, trust me when I say there are a lot worse out there. Casters represent an entire community when they speak. They have to take into consideration all of the different stakeholders who hinge on their successful performance. For that reason, casters spend hours upon hours honing their craft, developing speech patterns for common situations, and formulating different sentences to describe the same event.
Madrid and the Policia Vista Alegre is ready. Faker and Caps facing each other down in the mid lane, the first seed of the LCK versus the first seed of the LEC. In years past, SKT would have been favored through and through, but this year, even footing, everything on the line for both these players.
And you can see, we just mentioned with the draft phase, to pay attention to these mid laners, not because of the mid lane, but because of where they go elsewhere. Look at that lane percentage stat. That's the percentage of time between 3 and 15 minutes that these players actually stay in mid lane. And Caps did that less than any other player in the quarterfinals. Faker, in the group stage, did it less than any other mid laner in the group stage. So push and roam will be the name of the game, and where do they go from there?
And the question for me is, where do these teams look to prioritize early? Because for SKT, typically you'd want to try
and everyone in the Policia Vista Alegre, whether they're rooting for SKT or G2, is looking for 5 games. So the question is, can SKT fight back? And I think they've got the tools to do it. Faker, 25-6 on LeBlanc, undefeated domestically on this champion. Yes, he dropped a game at MSI, but and the LCK has not found a loss. We'll see if it is the case here as we move into our second game. Who will find the edge in the early game?
Now, personally, I'm a really big fan of SKT's comp. I think they have a really strong and easy side of the map to play around. I think Klid is a phenomenal Lee Sin player, and I think that if he just easily leverages the pressure that he will have in top lane and in mid lane, it's very easy for SKT to try and shut Jankos down, especially in the early game. My biggest question mark is, how will they play and defend around bot side? We were already talking about it before. I think that Perkz and Mickey will be able to get push in this lane. Will G2 look for an early dive? Because I imagine they're not just going to let Teddy and Effort free farm.
In the first clip, the League of Legends casters briefly introduced the atmosphere before discussing the different topics they wanted to in order to tee off the first match. They focused their attention on the middle lane players and the different stats they had over the course of the tournament. In the second clip, once again, a brief introduction was made to link the audience with the gameplay before immediately moving on to new topics. Instead of the middle lane players, this time they discussed the team's overall draft and the impact they would have against their opposition. And also, with a little help from the production team, there can be a night and day comparison between the first 2 starts. Not only do the observers switch it up, but the commentators themselves also bring up different ideas and make new statements to keep things fresh during the slow-paced moments at the start of the game. The same principles can affect other areas of esports media. You can't be an analyst if you can't structure your points in a digestible manner, the same way you can't host a desk if you're disorganized or lack communication skills. Commentators have a difficult task in conveying information under a new light. Not only do they have to relay what's happening in-game, but they also have to relate their messages to the crowd and adapt to the atmosphere around them as it develops. Among other things, commentary can also help the viewer track of things they missed while viewing. Small intricacies or details can be explained by an educated caster when the average viewer might not understand how the events unfolded as they did. They can also provide different perspectives on situations, humoring the audience and also giving context to their previous speech. Top-notch commentators are the catalyst that allow viewers to be comfortable whether they're listening and or watching. Notice how a simple interaction with the crowd can send them into a frenzy.
One question only. What do we think of LG? What do we think of Sheet? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tommy, for those wise words. For now, I'm going to hand you off to Clint and Joe to get this match started.
All right, thank you, Jess. Thank you, Tommy. We've just been hanging out here, enjoying the crowd. It's been absolutely...
As the scene grows and develops, audiences are able to identify with these esports entities and mirror their attitudes and personality. All in all, they enrich the overall experience and help newbies get up to speed on what is going on while also entertaining veteran viewers. And just to recap, casting is an important element that can be found in many types of broadcasts. Within esports, commentary is an element that can take a simple game of Rocket League and turn it into an elite level spectacle. The art of commentary is that it, like an onion, has many layers. Within those layers are many different roles and identities that can be found. Next time we'll be taking a look at the different roles within an esports broadcast and what makes each of them unique. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time.
Panda puts it a long way, and it's almost there. Justin keeps it alive. Turbopostle there. Bounces into the corner. Energy still around. Justin is there for the shot. Justin! Justin! This is Rocket League! They did it! The rookie